There was more action in this film than we get in a year of Noir Alley movies combined. Director Seijun Suzuki was starting to take his film assignments in an utterly new direction, one that favored extravagant style over logical storytelling. A film he made 3 years later, Youth of the Beast, was even more untethered from reality, veering toward surrealism. He was reprimanded by the studio heads, who ordered Suzuki to stick to the script and play it straight. Too late. The film earned Suzuki a devoted following among young viewers, which inspired him to take his films in an even more outrageous and avant-garde direction. By the mid-1960s, Suzuki was working with a loyal cadre of collaborators, principally production designer Takeo Kimura and leading man Joe Shishido, producing absurdist action thrillers like Detective Bureau 2-3, Go to Hell, Bastards, Tattooed Life, and Tokyo Drifter, movies so brash and iconoclastic they were an embarrassment to the straight-laced studio that made them. After 1967's gleefully insane hitman saga, Branded to Kill, Nakatsu's boss, Kayusaku Ori, fired Suzuki, declaring that he had brought disgrace upon the studio by making films that were incomprehensible. Suzuki's firing sparked an immediate backlash from Japanese cinema clubs and directors' unions, which launched formal protests. Suzuki sued Nakatsu for breach of contract, and during the 3.5 years the case dragged on, Suzuki actually did embarrass Nakatsu by revealing publicly how badly mismanaged the company was. In the end, Suzuki was awarded a fraction of the settlement he'd hoped for, but he did receive a public apology from Ori, the studio boss, who was forced to retract his disparaging comments. Not that it got Suzuki his job back. He was blacklisted throughout the 1970s by every studio in Japan. But in the end, Suzuki had the last laugh. Nakatsu Studios fell apart in the early 70s, and it was forced to remake itself as a purveyor of softcore pornography. Meanwhile, Suzuki kept his hand in as an actor and re-established himself as a director in 1980, making the film Zeigunnerweisen, which was nominated for 9 Japanese Academy Awards and would be voted by critics the best Japanese film of the 1980s. When his earlier Nakatsu films were finally distributed internationally, Suzuki's reputation enjoyed a renaissance, with iconoclastic directors such as Jim Jarmusch, Quentin Tarantino, and Nicholas Winding Refn singing his praises as a cinematic visionary. Next week, we leave all this cinematic extravagance behind for a return to by-the-book Hollywood melodrama. The book in question is Scalpel, written by Horace McCoy, produced by Columbia Pictures in 1953 as Bad for Each Other. Charlton Heston stars as a Korean War veteran who returns home to find some damning skeletons in the family closet and some serious temptation in the sleek form of femme fatale Elizabeth Scott. No bows and arrows, no runaway oil tankers, but it does feature an easy-to-follow storyline. Let us know what you thought of Take Aim at the Police Van on the Noir Alley social feeds. And in the meantime, I'll be here at Bar 355 in Oakland, just biding my time. Until next week, see you in the shadows.